Okay, I'm completely unused, sorry, to the Mac client. So let's wait a little bit to see if I did it correctly. They say it's more usable than Windows, but maybe it was true like 10 years ago. Now I don't know.
I don't think I've been on PC or Windows for about 25 years now. So
you're a Mac user too.
Yeah, well, the film industry is mainly Mac. All the programs that you use for making films are generally Mac related, so it kind of forces you into the Mac world.
Yeah. Well, I think I started the recording. Let's wait maybe another minute. Sorry to see if the red dot shows up. Else I will ask help to my companions. Let's wait another minute or so, because I can see I start the recording. It says, yeah, you want to start the recording, everyone will see it, and then nothing happens. So yeah. So sorry if I badmouthed Mac users.
The website is looking real good.
It is. Okay, yeah. So wait a sec, because actually my MacBook client is not really working good. So I will ask someone else to record the session. Okay. Just sorry for this technical hiccup.
It's recording right now, so.
Okay, perfect. I don't even see it. So let's start in this sort of, let's say, non-determination, this session. Sorry for the technical hiccups, and long live the memory of Steve Jobs in any case. So tonight we are here in our beloved lounge with our friends from Retrogression, and we have our friend Cryptomaniac here with us. So welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. And yes, so we would like to know who you are and what's your connection with the project.
Sure. There's a few other of my team on at the moment. There's Doc Crypto, and there is Pappy John.
Welcome,
as well.
Pappy. Welcome, Doc.
So they're on here.
Thank you.
I'm Mr. Cryptomaniac. So basically, this project is my brainchild. I'm an actor and a filmmaker that's been in the film industry since I was about 9 years old, and I've currently, it's been a while. I've currently got a film out, which is in release around the world at the moment, with Zac Efron as the lead, which will give you a hint as to who I am if you go and Google it.
With who, sorry?
With Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. Let me take a note so that then I can snipe you.
I have doxed myself privately to a bunch of influencers, so they know who I am, and I've done that through my verified Twitter page as well. And also being KYC'd by Solid Proof. So I will be doxing publicly just after launch as well. But essentially, Retrogression is you make films in the film industry, and one of the main issues with filmmaking is that the creators of the content don't actually own their product, and it's been like that since the dawn of time. Where we will create something, we will get investment for it from certain aspects. Then when you go to sell it in the marketplace, a film generally has to make 4 or 5 times its budget before you start seeing 1 cent in return. So one of the biggest gripes in the film industry amongst filmmakers, and particularly emerging filmmakers, and obviously people who aren't Steven Spielberg, I'm talking about, it's very hard to make a living and to get money together to develop your next projects. You're always relying on the same finance pattern, which essentially serves the people at the top, and they make all the money. So there's so many people with their hands in the cash register, so to speak, that it makes it very hard for filmmakers to keep getting product up. So,
well, that's a common. That's a common, let's say, problem in many other industries, right? So we constantly see the same mechanics that we are trying to eradicate, and the professionals themselves are trying to eradicate for those domains in which creative ownership is pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You sign away your film and you don't own it anymore, and that's, I guess that's when you look at NFTs being able to be sold on, and the creator of the NFT able to, on the blockchain, have a a royalty from their NFT. The beauty of crypto and the beauty of the blockchain is that it's there in print, it's there forever, because one of the other issues in the film industry is that there are so many bad accounting practices as well. So it's very hard to even know whether what you're getting back on the film is what you're supposed to get back. So,
especially like for people who are not, let's say, focused on that, because a filmmaker is a creative, let's say, professionist and professional, and well, he's just worried about creating it. He shouldn't be worried about accounting. And so it's something very true as well when we do our own taxes, right? We always think, oh man, I'm not an accountant. Why should I do this thing?
Yeah, it's very true. You don't go to art school to learn accounting, do you? So
yeah,
that is the thing. You do leave it in the hands of other people, and unfortunately, and like you said, it's rife in the music industry. It's rife in any form of industry. So one of the reasons for making this project was to keep ownership of the film, and that means that you're able to make the sort of film that you want to, which you have more creative control, which is a great thing. But it also means that you're able to generate income for your future projects. And then when you tie it into a crypto community where we can take profits from the film, then it seemed like a great marriage that had not been done before, where you can take the profits from the film, the filmmaker can benefit, but the community can also benefit, because we can use that profit to buy back the token, which obviously generates a greener chart for everyone, and then redistribute those tokens to holders so that people are profiting from the film. And it just seemed like a very symbiotic relationship, where you could have the best of both worlds. The people who are investing in the film are getting money back, but the filmmakers are also able to do it as well. So crypto seemed like, I have a feeling that, we're the first cab off the rank here. And if we can shake up the industry with this way of making films, I have a feeling it's going to revolutionize.
Well, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling, right?
It is.
So,
it is. And
so yes, we already touched a little bit about the product, and of course the capabilities that this new technology gives in these regards are awesome. But it's not only about money, and I would like to touch other, let's say, possible new branches of interaction with the audience as well, a little bit later, maybe, though, in the session. What I would like maybe to touch first, before moving on to the details of the project itself, is if you guys could maybe as well, our other guests could introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their own skills, and which other figures are in the team, how many of you are in the team, and well, describe a little bit the people behind the project, which is, I guess, the basis for the success. So it's something that we really like to put on the table as first thing.
Absolutely. Pappy, do you want to jump in? Pappy John?
Thanks for having me. My name's Pappy John. I'm a Solidity developer, so I developed the contract. and I also work in tandem with our web team to develop the applications that we have. I've been in the space a little over a year now. I have experience in programming, extensive experience in programming through schooling.
We are
Um,
colleagues then.
yeah, but I really enjoy the crypto space because of the decentralization and the ability to create something new and inspire
Mhm.
and help people.
So, Papi, you are the one who developed actually the smart contract. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, because this is one of the, let's say, the classical question that we ask regarding the contract ownership. As we know, there has been many instances in which projects were giving this really important power out to external entities, and that backfired. So it's always for me important indeed to show that the project has direct control and direct ownership on the contract, which basically is everything, right, in terms of operability.
Yes, so I do have ownership of the contract currently. We're going to be transferring that over directly to Cryptomaniac once we get a little further along in the process.
Yep.
I'm still setting a few things up for that. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of de-risk has been programmed into the contract. So we have limited our ability to disable certain features such as trading, to enable to increase taxes beyond a certain percentage. There's a lot of safety mechanisms built into the contract, and we've been audited by Solid Proof.
Yep.
So that audit's available on our Telegram as well.
Yeah, I'm showing it right now on screen. So, was it you who KYC'd with them, or was it you, Cryptomaniac?
It was Cryptomaniac.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I see. So, of course, that's really another important piece of the puzzle for people to feel safe, right? To invest in a
That's right.
project. I never heard about this company, Solid Proof, but tonight already 2 times. So, well,
Interesting.
another, yeah.
It's one of the whitelisted companies on Unicrypt. So we'll probably be doing
Okay.
our launch on Unicrypt, and it's one of the
Cool.
ones that they have recommended. So we kind of went with their recommendation.
Yeah, this was their top recommended audited company. So
Cool. Yeah, because maybe because we mainly deal with BSC, so that's why as well. Okay, that was super interesting. And what about you, Doc Crypto?
I'm fairly new to the crypto world. My background has been in filmmaking with Mr. Cryptomaniac. I've got quite an extensive background there, but the learning curve in the crypto world has been steep and very rewarding. I love the idea of decentralization.
Steep and rewarding. really well described.
But Mr. Cryptomaniac and I have been working on a number of projects together, and when he came to me with this idea, I was like, can we do this? This is
fire.
Great.
Yeah.
So I jumped in, feet, head, arms, whole body first kind of thing. I kind of belly flopped into the world, if you like.
That's sweet. And
just for context, Doc Crypto.
Yeah.
So we've already written the first installment of the trilogy as a screenplay.
Yeah.
So the screenplay's finished, and Doc Crypto and I co-wrote that screenplay.
Nice.
So
oh wow, that must be a huge job. But again, sorry if I just bring you back a notch again. Sorry for that. I don't want to break the flow. But are there any other core members in the project? Are there skills that you guys packed in the team? I don't know, a marketing guy or someone in charge of communication?
Yeah. Cello, are you here? I can see your.
Yeah, I'm here.
Wow, guys, thanks for coming in such a number.
No, this is the least we can do. Yeah, my name is Cello. I'm based in Asia, so I'm actually here as marketing person to bridge between. One of my major roles is to bridge between the Asians, the Chinese, and as well as some of these Southeast Asians and people who doesn't really understand the English. I know about 7 or 8 languages in Asian languages. I'm pretty much well, I would say that I'm pretty much in the space for quite some time, and I was able to take some tokens to a few millions before from a very small market cap, like 8K or something like that.
Wow. Call me the next time.
Yeah. So I mean, yes, and I did it multiple times as well. So this is one of the reasons why I'm here, because I met a very nice team with legit projects, and this is what I'm very excited about as well.
Yeah, I think you know how to recognize a good opportunity. Okay, so thanks. Thanks. So indeed, like I would like to evolve a little bit the conversation and unveil the source right behind the project. As we said, the project is about creating a full sci-fi trilogy. Right. So, what can you tell us? And you said that already the first movie has already been scripted. So, I've read as well on your, I think on your Telegram or on your white paper. I don't remember exactly where, but you are as well planning to kind of spoil a little bit the script in a brief span of time, eventually in the near future. So my question here is, can you guys tell us something about the plot and the theme, if you want, of this epic trilogy to come?
So there was the first 30 pages of the screenplay, the first act we put up the other day for a limited time, but if you guys are interested, we'll be happy to put it up again so you guys can have a little read. The idea and what makes this different is that this script has been engineered to incorporate crypto from the ground up, which nobody has done before. So I'll give you a rundown of what the synopsis of it is, and then I can talk about how we tie in the crypto elements as well. So it's set about 300 years after the climate wars, and it's in a place where the seas have risen because of global warming and humans have destroyed the planet. And
Scary already.
Yeah, that's the thing about sci-fi, isn't it? It's always closer to home than you'd like. And we've now resorted to these floating metropolis that are around the world. So it's essentially these kind of island cities that have been purpose built to stay alive. And we have our main character, Ben Hammond, he's a computer programmer, and he has invented a bit of technology where people are rewarded with the RTGN token according to their carbon footprint. So in the future, if you are carbon friendly, then you earn more RTGN token, and then you're able to then use those RTGN tokens you could buy green products that were manufactured in a green way to help with the carbon emissions. You could use it to go on a holiday somewhere if there was somewhere you'd actually like to go in this world. And so he lives in this utopian city, which is all glass and beautiful. It's kind of like you imagine it be Dorothy seeing the Emerald City in The Wizard of Oz, this promised land. And what happens in the beginning of the film is that there is a security breach on another floating island called Omega on a military base, and the head programmer there has been killed by these terrorists. So he has to go out to this military compound to try and put back up these orbs, which are essentially these floating steel orbs that are essentially the military. They've replaced the military, and people are are shot down by these orbs when they are causing trouble. Now, what he realizes when he gets there is that there's a deep mystery, and that his technology has been repurposed without him knowing to the tracking technology to reward people with tokens, and people have been embedded with these tracking devices in their arms, which the orbs can trace. And it's what he uncovers is a slave labor camp where all the green products that have been developed for the rich end of town, it's a slave trade of people living in the slums in this essentially in this tip of this mountain that has been built on top of each other, a slum town, and everyone except women and old people are used in these labor camps to dredge sand for the other islands. And to make green products. So essentially what he unveils is a capitalist pyramid scheme, not unlike what it was before, but using his technology. So once he finds that out, he has to go through and get to the rebels, who were originally, we thought, were the terrorists, but we find that they're actually a bunch of rebels who are trying to liberate mankind and free them. And so he joins up with them, and then must take down his own system that he created in order to liberate mankind. So that's the basis of the first script.
So indeed, the image that we see on the website, right? The first image that we see, it represents the destruction that was caused by the climate wars.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. So there are some cities that, like the new cities, that are purpose-built, beautiful-looking cities, and then there are the slums, which are the forgotten cities, much like we have today. With sweatshop factories and things like that. So there's two distinct, different islands that are operating in this first world.
And islands? You mean islands like in the sea, or floating islands?
The first one is a floating metropolis, so it's actually chained to the seabed because the water is so high. And then the second one, which is kind of the picture you're seeing, this slum world, you find out in the film that it's built on top of Mount Everest, and so because the seabeds rose, that was the last kind of piece of land that was left, was the highest peaks of the world, and so these people have scrambled to kind of build on top of each other over the years as the sea levels have risen.
Because why I'm asking, because when I've seen this image, maybe also the colors, I don't know exactly what, but and then reading the let's say the synopsis of the plot, I had the feeling like a mix between, I don't know, what remember the old film with the what was his name, Waterworld. Right, Waterworld and Matrix, plus something that remind me as well of space travel, kind of Interstellar. Maybe that's a little bit the main character here depicted as I don't know, like with this suit, containment suit or something. Right. So a mix of these two vibes. And also, I find it really interesting. I would like maybe to comment with you the human aspect that appears immediately from such a few lines, which is humanity trying to do something for their own good that then is used against humanity itself. Correct?
That's right. Yeah, it's it's that cycle, isn't it? Is that we
are stuck in this cycle.
Exactly. We tear down a cycle that is, I read a book years ago called Young Stalin, and I don't know if anyone here's read about it, but it talks about Stalin and the Bolshevik Revolution as a Bolshevik revolutionary and trying to overthrow the Tsars. And when you read that book, it's from his perspective as a young man who was trying to overthrow essentially a power that is squeezing his people. And as history does, anyone who rises to power becomes corrupted themselves, and he becomes worse than the people he was trying to overthrow in the first instance. is that power corrupts. And so I'm interested in that cycle of life where people start out to do the right things, but
and they end up being the oppressor, right?
They end up being the oppressor, and that's really what this is about. And it's a warning too that, you know, I looked a lot into, you know, greenwashing, they call it, and I don't know if anyone here knows a lot about it, but there is a big push now where companies have been essentially going green. Now, on the surface, that seems like a very excellent thing to happen. But what has happened is in the green industry, there are certain companies that you can go to that will give you your carbon tick of approval, as it were.
And they're corrupted. Let me guess.
And they are corrupt, and they have different sets of rules to pass their tests. And so, as a company, you can go to the one that best suits the operations of your company to be able to pass this thing. So one of the things that I was told once before about the greenwashing, which I thought would perfectly summed it up, is they basically said the only way to be truly more green is to stop making things.
Yeah.
So we're in a world now where buy the new washing machine with the 5-star rating because it's greener. But what we should be doing is fixing the washing machine we already have. But as it is, fixing the washing machine costs almost as much or a third as much as buying the new product. So in this movie, we wanted to explore how even, you know, getting people to be more green and look after the planet can also be corrupted for capitalism.
Because it's finally the way we produce is retarded, right? For example, I just fused my 3080, and it's something that cannot even be bought again in commerce. They don't have stuff to produce new boards and nothing, and they don't even want to try to repair it. They don't care, and that's something that drives me crazy. Like, how can you even set up a business like this? But well, don't get me triggered on this topic because it's really something that freaks me out. But one thing I really wanted to highlight also for our guest is that also the synopsis, even if it's just a couple or 3 paragraphs, is full of Eastern eggs for people who are, let's say, already knowledgeable about the crypto space, right? For example, or in general, the internet culture. Because, for example, the agency that governs this topic future world is called Chad. and then this is like something you guys made on purpose, I guess, a little bit to infuse some internet culture in the plot, correct? Or is just by chance?
No, not by chance. You're definitely right. So the Chads are the governing organisation in this, and it's got heavy crypto tie-ins. So one of the other things about the script that we've engineered is there are characters in certain scenes that are doing certain things, or there are things that are in the background of scenes that we want to replicate. And so this is where this project becomes more than just a film, because obviously I think one of the questions people are going to ask when we open it up is it takes, you know, a year and a half to get a film financed and make it. So what's going to happen in the meantime? And so the answer to that is all these little bits that are in there. So for instance, the main thing we're going to do is we're going to build a play-to-earn game, which is based on the film, and we have some partnerships that we're not going to announce today because they're not 100% locked in, and we don't want to be a project that makes promises that then don't deliver. So we'd rather say nothing, but it's looking really good. And this company would go on to build the play-to-earn game for us, which would be based on this. Now, in the script, there are things like a character, for instance, is watching virtual horse racing on in a scene, and there is, I think you guys know, a Z Racing, which is a crypto virtual horse racing company that's really huge. And then there are things like on the television in one of the scenes, there's a virtual basketball game where athletes in the future are no longer humans. they're virtual athletes, and so it's all done on an algorithm. So there's someone watching virtual basketball, and the idea is that we will have mini games within the main game itself where you can go and play and be these virtual athletes, and then create NFTs of those athletes as you would collector cards, the old school collector cards. So
yes, because we let me maybe explain as well to our listener. Indeed, your plan is to create what you call a parallel verse, right? Parallelaverse, which is a new word, a really interesting new word that I never thought about. But indeed, having a sci-fi world on the screen as a movie, but then as well develop a main game with as well mini games that are inspired from cutscenes of the movie itself. So as you just said, horse racing will appear briefly maybe in the movie, as I imagined already, and it will be a mini game as well in the Parallelaverse and what was about the basket league as well. So it's gonna be really interesting, as there are gonna be some references in the movie itself. So maybe we can go on about discussing what is gonna be the role of NFTs in this parallelaverse, and what's gonna be the role of the token itself. With respect to the movie first, and then the application as well in your ecosystem.
Yes. So one of the things that we're building as a launch utility is a emerging filmmakers crib. So what that will be for all emerging filmmakers to send in their short films, and it becomes a platform, essentially a streaming service, which has not been done before with crypto, where the emerging filmmakers will get paid in RTGN tokens according to streams. And we're considering the possibility also of opening it up so that people who hold the token who watch the films will also be able to earn the RTGN token. So
cool.
So that is a platform to support young filmmakers, and so they can also earn money from and own their content. And one of the things that we wanted, which was different to other sites, is that we don't need exclusivity. So people are, can be on other avenues, which opens it up for filmmakers. And we're not acting as a distributor. We're letting the filmmaker directly profit from their films. That's rather than us getting in the way. And then any advertising revenue that we raise from that platform, we will then use that to buy back the token, which will obviously assist the chart for everyone that's holding, and then distribute those tokens to the filmmakers as well. So for us, the filmmakers utility is not about us making any money. It's just about the operational
exposure as well.
And it's something for filmmakers and for engagement. And so obviously that ties in where one of the uses of the RTGN token itself. And so that will start as a streaming platform. And then obviously when the films are made, we will stream our sci-fi trilogy on our own streamer, which people can either buy RTGN tokens to stream, or people that already hold it can, who already hold the token can watch it as well. So it ends up streaming it. Now, obviously, the RTGN token is heavily featured in the film itself, which is good publicity for the token to be. It is the economy of the.
Yeah, because someone will watch the movie then says, it exists for real, right? So it's.
That's right. It exists in this world. That's right.
Oh gosh, I need to build like a bunker or something, right?
Yeah, that's right. And so the other applications for the token is in the play to earn game. Obviously, people will be able to earn tokens for playing, and the game is going to be an experiential game that because it's a bit of a detective mystery in the script, and that he has to find certain people in the underground tunnels in order to get to the right people to be able to join the rebels, while simultaneously running away from the military and the Chads. So it's an experiential game where you earn the token to play, but also the NFT, which I believe has not been done before because of the reaction that we've had from games companies has been pretty amazing, is we are going to have certain levels of the game that are locked. And so there are going to be a certain number of rare NFTs that you can earn from playing the game that will unlock certain levels. So only the
that's
people
cool.
who have, and only the people who have that can play that other level. And then obviously once you've played it, then you can then sell that NFT, which we believe, because of the demand to see these new levels, that it would actually be a profitable thing as well, because the next person who buys the NFT, they would make money out of it, and then the next person can play that level and sell it on, and so on and so on. So that is the idea between of the NFTs in the space, apart from earning the token, that we think is really unique and a cool thing. So we hope that it generates income for the people who have that NFT, but it also is great because it unlocks levels of the game that people really want to get to.
So indeed, the NFTs can be what we just said, that NFTs can be earned or purchased as well on the second, let's say, second level market, can be earned by playing, correct, right? And they allow you to unlock more content in the game itself. So that's a really, really, really genius idea, and I think that NFTs will in the gaming industry will be more and more adopted, as well as proper keys, right? Simple keys. So I feel it's a really genius idea. I will do something that I normally don't do, but there's a question that I see in the chat which is really really on this topic, and someone let me just find it. So Matthew Boy is asking, indeed, what is your plan to involve in this new methodology, if you wish, people that are not so accustomed to the crypto world, right? Because to join on your platform, you will need to have some tokens, so you will need to know how to purchase them. Do you already have a plan on how to make this easy for people who don't know much? Because as Doc Crypto said, there is a certain steep learning curve before being let's say confident in purchasing and selling and eventually using even a normal wallet, right? So what are you proposing to make this adoption easier for the mass?
Yeah, it's a good question, because obviously you have the crypto people already, then you have the gaming people already who are into the crypto. Now the game itself, there are two ways you can do it. You can either hook your wallet up if you are a crypto person, but it's not exclusively limited to people who are in the crypto world, because obviously we want to have it open, and the more people that play the game, then obviously the more popular the game becomes. So you don't have to earn those tokens. We're talking about the potential to have a secondary token in the game that is able to upgrade your experience, but it's not necessarily the RTGN token, and that'll be for people that don't want to connect their wallets. In terms of the people that we want to bring, the new people, it is a tough one, because people are very scared of crypto. And it's a good question, because when we were taking this idea out to the film industry as a concept, nobody understood what I was talking about at all. And so to get private backing for this from the film community was really difficult. And there's a great divide between old school financing and crypto financing. And so we ended up, financing our private sales through the crypto world, because there was a lot of people, and it's twofold. It's that they don't understand it, or that it's people that don't want to change the status quo of who makes the money and how. So
they
in
don't want to
terms of
touch status quo. No one of
Why-
the big companies and let's
why
say
would
lobbies want.
they wouldn't want? Yeah, why would they want to? It's just
Yeah.
cutting them out of the equation, essentially.
And that's going to be another challenge for us, right? Because, it's a fight against the establishment as well. They know now, they didn't know probably before, but now the how to say, the knowledge of the fact that it's going to be disruptive is out there. And I imagine that you guys had troubles to get some foundings on the normal, let's say, non-crypto channels, right?
Yeah,
But
that's right.
I just had an idea. Listen to this. For this onboarding of people, you could include a scene in the movie in which the guy is checking, I don't know, the pancake chart, the PooCoin chart, and purchases with MetaMask, right? So people will say, I've seen that in the movie.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I think that's the good thing about it, and about us having control over the script, is that we can engage the community as well when it gets closer to the film aspect, and we can get ideas from the community about what they would like to see appear in the film, the characters and things like that. But I just want to touch again on the last question, because I don't think I've properly
sorry, I just interrupted you so roughly.
Because one of the ways we're trying to do it is through the emerging filmmakers portal. So there's a lot of filmmakers out there who don't know about crypto, but they will. And the emerging filmmakers portal is a way of engaging the film community and a younger film community, so that they come in, and we're going to take anyone who's on the site or anyone who's streaming will be taken through the process of signing up for a wallet, getting a MetaMask, and we will be actively engaging with them to bring them to the crypto space so that they can.
Wait a second, I'm gonna mute. Sorry. He muted himself, so please go on.
That's good. And so anyone who comes onto the site, and as that platform grows, then we will be essentially kind of teaching them how to sign up and be part of the crypto world, which we think is exciting, because, like I said before, it's something that the film industry will adopt, but we want to be the first, and we have the infrastructure in place. Scripts take years to develop. We've already got that, so we wanted to make sure we were in a place that by the time we launch, we're so ahead of the game in terms of anyone else coming along and trying to do what we're doing.
See, indeed, today I was thinking, right, about this parallelism, right, with the themes of the movies, sorry, and what we are seeing today. So the how to say, this new technology that is trying to that is striving for mass adoption. And I was thinking that somehow in the movie there is also the theme of decentralized organization. So we are talking as well about DAOs. And I was thinking that it could be cool to have and another use case for a token like yours, to have like some sort of DAO mechanism in place, as you said before, for the community, for the whales to kind of influence some decisions. Of course, it's not possible for them to write a script, but maybe just give some Easter eggs for people to vote on, or give them some options to decide, and then who has the most tokens has more weight. So people will be incentivized to kind of stack up their stash to decide a certain aspect of the trilogy, right? That could be cool as well.
That's certainly what we want to do, and even further to that is, once we've made the 3 films in the trilogy, we want to merge into a studio that brings projects to the community to decide what is going to be financed next. So it would essentially become a DAO studio in a sense, for filmmaking once we finish the trilogy and get it to a certain level. So that is that's the idea behind it, is that once we bring the films out, then we can bring scripts to the place. We could even, I mean, if the community have scripts that they want to send to us, then we can have a look at those too. So that's where we see it heading in the future.
That's the revolution. That's real revolution, right? Interaction.
Absolutely, I think it's essential to keep everyone engaged in this this process as well.
And also, sorry, but I think that also writers will benefit because, for example, look at huge and super famous sci-fi sagas. After a while, they became stale because they are institutional, right? But
Yeah.
if you open up to an infinite number of brains and the infinite number of ideas, it will be hard for you guys to handle that because mad volumes, right? But then there might be that only guy in the world that has the revolutionary idea to I don't know, for example, not making every Star Wars movie identical to itself, right? That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely, and to be completely honest, there is, you know, the crafting of a screenplay and the crafting of a film is a delicate process, and it is something that, you know, needs to be handled properly because there are certain rules and structures and things that you learn just from doing the process for a long time. So, a million ideas.
Tunnel vision. A little bit of tunnel vision.
Absolutely, you do have to have that. And so, while you can bring the community in and give ideas, you're exactly right. You can't implement a million ideas into one thing, or it's just going to be a pile of weird shit. There has to be someone driving the vision there, and, you know, you have to be on theme, and, you know, the characters have to go through certain arcs, and there are rules to screenplay writing and to filmmaking that just do need to be adhered to. But that doesn't mean that it can't be filtered through us and implemented by us, and we can take all those million ideas, distill them down to 10 or 15 things that would work, and then engage the community on those things. So, you know, I think that's
also another cool thing that could be done is, for example, I don't know, I have 10,000 hours of streaming on your platform, right? Or I've played 10,000 hours in your game, right? On top of some kind of token, as you said, more like dedicated to monetary rewarding monetarily, if it's just a word, I don't know. But you know what I mean? To give some value out to the player, but also you could give these people more governance, right? Because they're experts finally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so really, I think it's really promising. But we are already 50 minutes in, and I'm sorry for my blabbering. I'm just having so much fun. But there's Afis Ramiro in our chat who's calling back a little bit on the reality. He's giving us a reality check, and he's asking, can you explain how is your tokenomics distribution? How many tokens will be minted? How many tokens will be locked by the team? He says, okay, guys, let's get a little bit. Let's go back to reality and to what will happen in the next couple of weeks or few months. I'm not sure about the roadmap for the launch, for the pre-sale. So it would be nice, in my opinion, to find some time to talk about tokenomics and private sales, if any. So yeah, and then maybe one day we can catch for a longer conversation and go wild again.
Yes, and absolutely. I think that's the thing about this project. The exciting thing is that it is exciting, and you do want to dive in and talk about the future, but at the same time, we're very, very wary that, you know, we have to launch well. First of all, we have to have utility on launch. We have to have engagement. That the film side of it is a very long process. So this question is absolutely spot on. In terms of the tokenomics, we've done 2 private rounds at the moment, which raised around 100 ETH. And we are about to go into, I imagine it's going to be in about 2 or 3 weeks. because of the building of the utilities. Now, on launch, we want to have the filmmakers portal, which we've already started building, and we want to have that tested and ready for launch. We also are going to do a staking app, which we are building as well, which Pappy can also speak a bit more about, and that will be another utility that will be ready on launch. So we're very, we've got our minds in the short term as well. In terms of the tokenomics, we have it's on the website at the moment if anyone wants to have a look or after this call, but there's a 14% team wallet that is very heavily vested. I believe it's around releasing about 1% of that a month.
There's
a
really nice table that I'm gonna show on the screen. So please feel free just to breeze over it.
That's right. So as you can, I think that the actual February, March will need to be pushed, obviously, because we haven't launched yet. But essentially, it's the 1% unlock, and it's 14% of total supply. So that's that will be fully unlocked come December. I'm actually thinking of extending that out so that it's 1% per month for 14 months, because I think it just gives peace of mind to the community. And having access to those tokens is not really our priority at the moment. The only thing we would use them for is if we needed to spend more money on the game development that the taxes didn't raise, that we would be able to incrementally and very carefully sell some of those tokens to pay for any overages in that process. In terms of what else do you want to talk about in terms of supply? I think there's
maybe more a little bit of. So you said that you did a private sale or a seed sale. Are there gonna be any whitelisted sale, or the next chance to buy is gonna be at public launch?
Yes. So there is a whitelist going around. So
we're gonna give some spots, 3 spots tonight as well. Yes.
You sure are. In fact, we can give you 5 spots if you like. If that makes sense.
Nice. So five spots for the duck race.
There you go. Yeah, the duck race. I love the duck race. So there will be a whitelist. Now the 2 rounds of private and the pre-sale will all be vested identically. So the vesting is 15% on launch, 21.25% every 4 weeks until it is unvested. So the reason behind this is we want a steady chart. Everyone who's in the private sale, we're very happy to vest the tokens because they see this as a long-term project. And I should mention that our strategy, one of our strategies from the start was to, rather than spend an enormous amount of money on calls from influencers, which can get very expensive, I personally went around and doxed myself and engaged with influencers that I thought could offer some really great long-term support. And so those influencers have actually bought into the private sale. So they have an interest in supporting the project and they believe in the project. And we thought that was a better way to get long-term support from these people. I've seen too many times, I've seen a call come from one of these guys, the token pumps for 5 seconds and then dumps again. Yeah. And that's not what we're about. So, we have a team of influencers that I've not engaged yet because we haven't needed to. And I want to save them for launch and for pre-sale, who are really behind the project. I've doxed to them all, and we have their long-term support. So that's people like PS Swole and Travlad's now got a new ETH channel, and he's changed a lot of the way he's operating and the sort of tokens that he supports and what they need to have in place. We've got Penn. We've got Jump In Anyone. So we've got quite a few. I've missed a few at the moment, but probably got about 5 or 6 key influencers, and we're always looking to build on that as well. But that was the
Gollum.
We've got Gollum is going. We're going to do an AMA with Gollum. So yeah, we're
So in fact, you're answering. Yes, sorry.
Maythouse as well. Sorry, Maythouse is on board. So yeah, we've got a good team.
So indeed, you're already answering to a few questions that are in the chat right now of people that were asking how you guys are planning to market the token. And you just explained how you're planning to do it in the short term. But there are a second aspect to this question, and another recurring question tonight that I would like to propose to you if you still have some time. And the guys would like to know as well what are going to be the marketing plan to sustain the value more in the long term, right? Not only for the launch itself, and secondly, how you're going to plan, how are you planning, to develop your community, and if you're targeting specific regions where maybe you're planning stronger marketing presence, and whatever you can tell us about marketing and community building.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we're actually doing this week is we're spending a whole bunch of cash on driving traffic to the website and then to the socials. And so we're just experimenting with small amounts at the moment to just see what the click-through rate is of people joining versus people doing it. That's targeted specifically to people who are crypto, people who use Telegram, people from the United States, from India, from Europe, and specific regions that we've come up with. So that'll be one of them, is using that banner advertising. We just need to get the kind of returns right, and that's just going to take a bit of fiddling at the moment to make sure that we're maximizing the people that are coming and we're getting what we need from them. And then one of the other things which I can touch on, but it's more about an announcement that will come soon. There, in terms of the gaming aspect, we've got a really big partnership that we've been negotiating for weeks at the moment. Mm-hmm. And that partnership is a very big company in the crypto/gaming space. And we don't want to announce it yet because, as I said right at the beginning, we don't make promises that we don't deliver. We'd rather have it stitched up and then tell the community. So we're hoping in the next couple of weeks that all the legals are done on that aspect of it and we can announce it. But what I can say is that they are a big company with their own platform and their own game in the space, but they also are about to release a new huge game as well that they are about to launch. And so we would ideally have a partnership where we are part of that experience that they are launching as well. So it's their next one.
And if I could jump in there for a moment, this is Doc Crypto.
Yeah.
The game, while at the moment it will be based on the main character in the film, as time goes on, we plan to develop the game further to include other subsidiary characters in the film will have their own storylines in the game. So as time goes on, the game will deepen, if you like, and you can explore other parts of the world and other stories in the world. So that will help marketing in the future, that the game isn't just going to be one release. It will be multiple releases over time as we build different sections and different parts of the world, new stories and new utilities into the game.
That's right. Yeah. So it's really it's an organic process with building the game. It's always been built upon. Partnerships are really important to us, as well as film partnerships. So there will be partnerships announced with distribution companies for certain territories, as well as the progress on the film. So there's always a lot in terms of information and partnerships that come from obviously developing a film. Obviously engaging with cast is going to be a big one, but that's further down the track once we feel like we have a project that is stable enough to go to the kind of A-list actors that I do know and have worked with. So, marketing for us will be in the short term will be about driving people to our socials so that we can give the information. It'll be about publications, but it's targeted publications. We all know that a lot of these companies offer, a Yahoo ad, but do they, my question is, do these things translate into actual holders of the tokens, these sort of press release things? So it's actually about utility-based marketing. It's actually about having a product and something to show and something to market. And that's the same as my experience in film. You can't market an idea, you can market a product. So it's about taking what we build and then marketing those elements, rather than being full of hot air, which is what 99.9% of these tokens are. Is they're promoting nothing, and it's not a business. You can't promote nothing. You can't promote promises. You have to promote utility. So
That's
when
a problem.
we have utilities and when we roll them out, then that is what our focus will be, is on concrete developments in our business. Otherwise, it's just hot air.
So I'm monitoring our chat now because there are so many questions that I always need to group them, to refactor them, to try to answer and to touch all the topics that our friends are putting on the table. And indeed, one of the topics that the guys were asking about, as far as understood, is they were really curious about how you're going to approach game development, because as everyone know, game development is a really, really, really hard thing to do. It requires tens of people working potentially on a AAA title, and it's just crazy when you finish a game the amount of people that are working on some titles. So, as far as understood, you're planning to leverage partnership, right? With
That's right.
with already established gaming project. But there's Alexis asking us, and I'm afraid that I'm telling you, like, if you will ever partner with the devil, but he's asking, will Retrogression will partner with Netflix or big platforms on others? Sorry. Or, well, he says, or other big platforms, right?
Yeah, sure. So I'll give you a kind of rundown of how Netflix works in terms of the film, and then so the way Netflix works is that they look at the budget of your film, how much you can make that film for, and they give you a premium on top of that. Now, once they give you that premium, that is the only income that movie is ever going to make for eternity. So when you go to a streamer, you get a little bit more upfront guaranteed money, but they own your film and you never get any more return from it. So with a project like this, Netflix would be the enemy of this project.
Indeed, that's where I wanted to end up, right, Alexis?
Yeah.
I mean, this is what is gonna try to destroy the model imposed, in a sense, by producer and filmmakers and creatives by platforms like Netflix.
That's right. And while it can be helpful with certain types of films, and a lot of production companies like to do a deal with Netflix because it's a one-stop shop. They get the money from one place versus piecing it together from 10 or 12 places, which is quite often with films outside of the studio system. And a lot of people are like, let me just take my $5 million on top of it and I'm done. For this project, it's 3 films, firstly, so we think there's a lot. And the other thing with films is that you sell it into market, and there's about 136 territories around the world. And my film with Zac Efron has been sold to every territory and is rolling out at the moment in all those territories. And the way it works is that you get sales agents who then sell it on to a distributor in each different territory, and then they then sell it on to the TV networks and blah, blah, blah. And so there's about 5 different people in the process before the money filters back to the community or to the filmmakers. So one way is that we become our own streamer for our own films, and that way we are able to stream on our own platform. Another way is that you partner with these individual territories. And the beauty of doing it this way is that the film is 100% owned by us and the community, rather than it being invested by certain, in venture capitalists or what have you.
Yeah.
So it means that the film is in profit from the first dollar. So strategically, what you want to do is you want to go direct to all those territories, and you want to sell it because that cuts out the majority of people in the process. And then what happens is there's one round of cycle where a film makes money and they get licensed to certain things, like my film, for instance, is going to go to cinemas, and then it's going to go on to Apple and Video on Demand, and then it's going to go to Hulu for 6 months. And each of those is a revenue stream. Once Hulu's done for 6 months, you can then resell it on to someone else again and again and again for eternity. So while it's more work in dealing with more partners, it's much better than just going to a streamer, which essentially you're taking your money and that's it. So for the longevity of this project, we want to keep reselling this product over and over again.
So indeed, these are the topics that we touched and discussed a little bit in the beginning of the session, but I thought that the question was a nice,
Absolutely.
a nice point to come back and underline this concept again for the people that maybe joined late, or for the people who were not at least connected during the first minute, because it was a really early topic, but I feel it's one of the main aspects of the project, right? Because it is also entangled with the plot of the movie itself. So that's why. There is like a personal question that I have, more technical though. But first, I would like to touch on another common question that we have. A lot of our community members are from Asia, and they are always kind of interested to understand if you guys have specific plan for communities which are less, let's say, for communities, let's say, that are non-English speaking friendly. And I guess that here is cello time to shine, right? So guys,
yes, it is.
Yeah, you will have someone who's speaking like 8 different languages, right? Who coordinates a little bit the marketing effort, and I guess also the presence in Asia. Because also in terms of filmmaking, we have seen that in the last years, and even more than the last years, like a decade maybe, if we exclude Japan, Japan has always been top notch, right? Also talking about animation. But now we have also Korea, Taiwan, China itself is producing high quality movies. And so it's business, right?
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, they're big markets. I mean, China, depending on the content of the film, it can be tricky in terms of selling a film. But if it passes, then it's a very lucrative market for that. But you're absolutely right; it's opening up, and we're seeing a lot more diversity in casting of films as well, which is helping to reach those other markets, which is a really good thing. But Cello, maybe if you're still here, you could answer a little bit more about building into those Asian communities and having some channels that aren't so English orientated. I don't know if Cello's still here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
So to begin with, we will be starting to build about 14 to 15 different channels for not just in Asia, but also for Spanish speaking people, like South America, Portuguese, and we will start to hire people from Turkey and some parts of Asia, like China, as well, to manage and moderate the chat as well. I personally speaks. I do take Japanese. That was actually my mother tongue.
Nice.
And yeah. So I speak a couple of languages like Malay as well. Like people in Indonesia and Malaysia, they'll probably need to speak in that language when it comes to crypto, because it's not that not everyone in there speaks English. And I've got a couple of real real life friends who actually can sort that out for me as well. As far as putting all the community in one place, Discord would be somewhere that we would be doing our best for the combining everyone in there. Because like Discord, we will have different chats under one platform, which is much easier to use rather than in Telegram. You have to skip channel to channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll be you've seen a couple of big projects that as well on Discord, but of course we'll be hitting a lot of different article channels, and also like say for example the Medium page, and for China we'll have some Weibo, WeChat, and a couple of known.
So also
places.
the platform will be the right ones that are the most used. That's awesome.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. So yeah, please.
I might just add too that even in terms of the characters that are in the screenplay as well, there are multi-nationalities in there.
Yeah.
As well. So one of the main characters in there that we're searching for is Shang-Chi, and so there's kind of Asian characters in there. There's also Spanish-speaking characters. So because this is a world in the future where
Sure.
everyone
it's already
is
like
one,
this today. It's already like this today.
Absolutely, it's like Telegram, isn't it? So yeah.
So
we think.
So, I mean, sorry to interrupt you. The session is running a bit long, but if you guys don't mind, I would like to ask you maybe one final question, and then one final consideration. Then I will open the floor. I will leave the floor to you for any key takeaway that you may want to leave our community with, and then we will do our own giveaways as we promise to our community all the time. So my question would be, like we said, that is going to be an Ethereum project. Will we be able to buy through Polygon?
That's probably a question for you, Pappy, if you're still here. There was no plan for that as yet.
Yeah, so for now, we're just launching on the Ethereum chain.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be launching on Uniswap will be the router that we launch on initially. But there's potential for expansion in the future.
Yeah, no, because like since Polygon integrated Hermets, their level 2 zero knowledge for Ethereum, so they found a way to basically cut down the fees for Ethereum-based blockchain project. So I've seen, I was just asking because lately I've seen that many Ethereum projects are using this technology to cut down fees for their investors. And I found it really interesting as a topic in general. And then one final consideration from me, and this is kind of, let's say, also a vision for your future. Like the other day, I was watching on the Devil on Netflix, Arcane, which is the League of Legends mini series. And it's awesome. It's like incredible. And you know what I did today? I downloaded League of Legends for mobile. You see?
Awesome.
So it means that it's a model that works, guys. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and after this let's say gag, really, first of all, I would there are other questions. I try to sum them up a little bit. Some of them are more on target, less on target. I try to touch all the most important points from most important inputs from our community. But right now, it's really your moment to let's say give us the Jews. You see the South, so I I open the floor for you guys, and do whatever you like, say whatever you like.
Sure.
That's yours.
I think from my perspective, the main thing about this project for me is that we want to do things right. And I know you've probably heard it a million times before, but this is a long-term project. When I dox, my reputation as a filmmaker is on the line, and that's very important to me. And utilizing my contacts that I have from my experience in the industry with A-list actors, it's very important that this project is done professionally and properly if we're going to bring those people into the fold. So I guess if anything, we're not going to hype this project. We're not going to make promises that we can't keep. We're not going to say things just because the chart needs a little bit of green in it. We're going to deliver on our promises. We're going to build utilities. We're going to listen to the community, but we're going to do the job that we're here to do. We're not here to make a quick buck. We're here to make something that essentially is a 5 or 6 year project. And the challenges are going to be what the challenges are. There's always going to be issues with the chart. It's never in a straight line. We understand that. We're going to implement things that assist the chart when we need to. But I think the main thing for us is that we've got a very solid platform. We've got a solid team. We're all very level-headed. A lot of us know each other personally in real life as well. And just come along for the ride for this, because it's something that's never been done before, and it's not a pump token. And I think the deeper we get into it, the more fun it'll be for everyone to have gone on this ride, because it'll be pretty cool. And of course, there'll be things like certain people will be able to come to premieres, and we'll give away all that kind of fancy stuff and fly people to the set and competitions and things like that. And that's the fun part of it. But and the profits of the film feeding back into long-term holders, and there'll be incentives for holding the token longer and at what level. So, I just think stick with us. Don't jump on us, 2 minutes after it launches and say, when this, when that. It's just not that sort of token. And we're here for the long haul. We will support this project and give it everything.
I totally appreciate what you just said, because a lot of people, as well, a lot of projects, of course, maybe scale down, right? We're talking about scaling down the thing, but are here as well with a lot of enthusiasm, right? Yes, but expecting some immediate returns or immediate pumps or whatever. But finally, the turtle wins, right? And who does things properly. So I wish you the best of luck. I'll be sticking around on your channels, guys, because I really want to see this succeed, and I'm sure it will be a blast. I'll be watching. I'm already looking forward to watch the movie, because I'm a big sci-fi addict. and seriously, I really want to thank you personally for the chat. It was awesome, and the time really flies when you have fun.
We did have fun.
If I could, I'd just like to touch on something real quick before we finish up here.
Sure, man. Feel free.
So yeah, one other utility that we're planning to have, and it may be ready for launch, maybe shortly after, but it will be a staking utility to incentivize people to hold their tokens. You'll be able to stake RTGN tokens, and you will earn RTGN tokens. Basically, the way it's going to work is if you withdraw your staked tokens early, they will be taxed at like a 20% rate or something along those lines. And then at the end of the withdrawal period, any withdrawn tokens or tax tokens that are received will be distributed to the holders, weighted based on how many tokens they have staked.
It's like a vault stake, let's say, pattern. We've seen it recently in more and more projects trying to implement really vaults that are giving some rewards, but after a certain amount of time, and it's fair, I think. So thanks for underlining this detail. And now I think we will need to wrap it up, unfortunately. So, guys, if you want to stick around for the race, else feel free to go back to your more productive or equally productive or like just resting activities. I don't know. And thanks again. So I guess that Sila Kalle will help me with the race. But first of all, I wanted to just give away one of the prizes to one of the questions, because I think it was really well thought and research, and it's the question from Matthew Boy. So congrats, Matthew Boy, you just earned yourself $50 and eventually a whitelist spot for Retrogression pre-sale. That is gonna be when again, because this is really important? Mr. Cryptomaniac.
Yes, sorry, what was that?
When is going to be the pre-sale?
The pre-sale, well, it's all utility-based. We want to launch with the utility.
Okay.
The utility's being built, but I can tell you that it will be early March, in the first week of March, we anticipate, yeah.
Okay, so now we'll be racing for 2 whitelist plus $50 and 2 more whitelists. So the first 4 people will win something. Sila Kalle, are you here with the ducks?
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
Let's go.
Yeah, so as Pastor said, 2 times $50 and 4 whitelist spots for this race. Good luck.
Let's go.
Everyone.
Good luck.
Yeah, let's go.
Horse races, racing horses. We are racing gorillas and dinosaurs.
Yeah, I thought it.
Let's go. Yeah, the theme as well. Oh, look, there's the Michelin man.
Yeah. Okay, so
Ooh,
we got
Simpson again.
Simpson, Fall, Mix, Alvaro. So you
Congrats, guys. Simpson and Fall, $50 whitelist. Mix, Alvaro, whitelist.
Yes.
Plus Matthew Boy for the best question, $50 and whitelist. Wow, guys, congrats. So super AMA. I hope that everyone is happy and everyone has a good time. Thanks again for our friends from Retrogression. Please join their TG and follow them, because it's gonna be a lot of disruption in the business. And again, thanks, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
For having us.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.